This is Jermaine reporting for the Boxing Show in association with Seconds Out Coffee. I'm joined along by SteviLevy. How you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. All right?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Stevie, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Obviously, you've got a fight coming up next week. I want to ask you, how's camp going for that fight?
Brilliant. Do you know what? I don't really do camps yet. I don't stop training. I've trained all fucking year. So, like, obviously, when you know you got to fight, you're up certain things. The diet gets more stricter, but everything's gone perfect. I feel like it's perfect timing to fight, to be honest. I'm more than ready. So, I've literally not stopped training all year. So, it's brilliant news.
Obviously, it's your first time fighting this year, obviously, and you fought last year. Is that correct?
Yeah, my last fight was February 2020. So, well over a year now.
Yeah, so how excited are you to get out there? Obviously, you're fighting on a Fightzone card, so obviously Fightzone is quite popular now. So how's it feel on such a platform?
Do you know what? I've heard quite a lot about it, but I went there and watched the show last Friday, and it's fucking brilliant. Excuse my language. The production's amazing, the people amazing. It's a lovely set out. I'm so excited now. I've been there. I was excited, but it's sunk in now since I've been there. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, a lot of people wouldn't like getting a fight short notice, but that's supposed to me. So I'm always fit anyway. I always keep fit, and you know, it's just exciting not having too long to wait. So
yeah. I mean, I've seen some of the footage of the fights and seen some of the setup there. It looks amazing. Obviously, you've been there, you've seen it for yourself. We've been waiting to go down there. When we get a chance, me and my colleague are going to have to pop down there and check some of the fights out because it looks pretty cool down there.
Oh, it's the real deal. It's good. Whereabouts are you based? Where are you?
Oh, we're based in Southwest London. So yeah, London, yeah. So, but
I see London's near everything. I just always see London as the middle of England, but I'm probably wrong. I'm not good with geography.
Yeah, no, hopefully we'll pop down there. Fightzone seem to be doing very well. And they've got some terrific fights coming up as well. A few titles.
25th of June's a good night to go.
Yeah, 100%. We'll be there. A few fights there. Got a few titles will be on the line as well that night as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Steve, I want to obviously talk a bit about you recently signed a management deal with DaveAllen. DaveAllen's going to be your manager now.
Yeah.
How did that come to fruition?
Do you know what? We've been very close friends now coming up for a couple of years, and things didn't work out where I was. I moved back to my local gym in King's Lynn for like a few reasons, but everything's so positive and flowing perfectly now. And obviously, I needed a manager. I didn't ask him because I think it's something he's only recently thought about doing because he wants to be able to help people that deserve it. Do you know what I mean? And I can't get my words out now. He knows I needed someone. He offered to do it. And at first it seemed a bit like, nah, you know, we're friends. But you know what? It's perfect. We make a good team. We're both on the same level. He's a genuine person. He's not in it for the money. He loves boxing just like me. And I think managing and training fighters is like, it's keeping him. You know, he retired a little while ago, and I'm way off retirement, I hope. But the thought of it scares me not to be involved in boxing. So I think anything that keeps you involved in boxing, the fact that he's able to help his friends, you can see what it means to him, and he knows what it means to us. So I think it's perfect, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal. DaveAllen, you don't love DaveAllen.
He's not in it. He's not in it for the money like a lot of people. He is not. He is a genuine person. He loves the sport and he cares about his friends a lot. So, you know, if he thinks he can help you, then I trust anything what he says from now on. I really do.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a really good guy. He seems like a really good guy. I love DaveAllen, and I'm sure a lot of people do love DaveAllen. Such a likable character. Always up for a good fight as well. He's had a good career. He's been in some. I've actually seen him fight a few times live as well.
Yeah.
He's when he fought Lucas Brown as well. I was there that night. A fantastic night of boxing. Yeah, and yeah.
If anyone don't like him, they don't know him because there's nothing not to like about him. Honestly, he's a genuinely amazing person. He really is. Not licking his ass, he's my manager, but he really is. Honestly, he's brilliant. I tell you what, he's a fucking intelligent bloke. Some people think he's fucking what they say, punch drunk, and they ain't got a clue. He's the most switch on person I've ever met. He really is. So, yeah.
Obviously, he's going to be making his return to the ring soon. How do you feel about that? Are you excited about that? Obviously, he's going to be fighting on, I think, Fightzone as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited for him. Do you know what? as big and as, you know, mean as he might come across in the ring, at the end of the day, he's got a heart like all of us. And I think having a team behind, he's got a team with us now. Before he was sort of doing it alone, there was a lot of pressure on him. He took fucking big fights, you know, quite soon on. And I feel like now he's going back and starting, you know, with the smaller fights, doing it the right way. And he's got me, Joe, Liam, Levi. We've got a little team going on now, and we're all so close. And that we boost each other. Do you know what I mean? He's got more reason to train because he's training with his fighters that he trains. He's enjoying the training. We've got nutritionists now. He's John Clark. He's fucking amazing. You know, he checks in on us, and I think David appreciates the being checked on as well as anyone. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot less pressure on him. And at the end of the day, we're all on the same wave here. You know, we'll be as good as we can be. We don't care if we're not the best in the world. We want to be the best we can be, and we're all going to be proud of each other no matter what. No one's letting anyone down if they don't win a fight. You know, we're all taking part together. I know they say there's only one winner, one loser, which is true. You want to win, but at the end of the day, when you've got a team, you're not on your own if you lose, are you? Do you know what I mean? You're all there together. So, yeah, I'm really excited for him. I'm really, really excited for him. We're not going to be fighting on the same bill. I agree. But he said, you know, it's better that if he's got one of his fighters fighting the same time as him, he's got to worry about us as well as himself. If one of us loses, so we'll be there supporting him like he's there supporting us. So it's perfect.
Brilliant partnership there. I want to talk a bit about, obviously, let's talk about some of the women's boxing and some of the people in your division. First of all, I want to talk about a certain PinkTyson. He's ranked number 28 in the world. Yeah. She's fighting for WB silver belt soon.
I've forgotten about her, you know. I've followed her for a long, long time. You won't ever catch me calling people out. I'm not like that. But I've followed her for a long time, and I've always had this in my stomach that you look at people and you think, I think I can see myself fighting them one day. She's one of them people. I shit you not, yeah. When I had my debut coming up, I was looking for all these random people on BoxRec, and when this Bojana, I looked at her and I just had this gut. I'm a strong believer in gut feelings and vibes and stuff, and I sort of knew it was going to be her. And I feel like this Pink, I know she's way above me in terms of fights, but women's boxing moves on quick. Do you know what I mean? So it won't be long before I start fighting people like her. And yeah, I fancy my chances, to be fair. I worked as hard as her. Do you know what I mean? I might not be the most talented person in the world, but no one works as hard as me. So that's the only thing I am confident hitting is my work ethic and my engine. So hopefully that'll get me there.
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned that the women's boxing moves fast. Obviously, you're quite early in your career. She's had a few fights and won a few titles and stuff like that. But women's boxing does go quite quickly. One day you might actually get in a ring with each other. So you actually welcome that fight if it does come along one day in the future.
Oh, I've seen some of your interviews, and you're well known for shit stirring. So whatever I say is going to get twisted. And that's going to be
not all.
Without PinkTyson.
Not all.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not naming any names yet, but there's people now who've had like 1-2 fights, and I think they're more world class than some of these people who have had 20-30 fights. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I don't think it goes in level order completely with women because it's all now getting in the mix. It will eventually, but yeah, her record don't scare me. Put it that way. Her record don't scare me.
Brilliant. Okay, we're going to talk a bit about a fight what got called off recently. Obviously, Terri Harper versus Chow. Obviously, Terri Harper sustained a hand injury, and the fight got postponed. How disappointed were you that fight got called off? Obviously, Terri suffering an injury.
I was gutted. You know what? Terri Harper is a female boxer that I've followed for a long time, right from the start of her career, I think. So it's exciting watching her getting these big fights. I've not actually seen that Choi, whatever.
Well, yeah, Choi.
I've not seen her fight, but I find it hard to see anyone beating Terri Harper at the moment. So it would have been exciting to watch. Yeah, and I felt sorry for her as well. Like I see the hard work she puts in, day out. I've been let down in fights, but to be let down at that level must be fucking devastating. Felt for her big time.
So how much, obviously you followed her for a while, how much has she been an inspiration for you to maybe one day push on for
Do you know what? Her more than anyone, because a lot of these boxers like Katie Taylor and mine's gone dead now, but they've all got massive amateur backgrounds, and that intimidates me in a way. So I'm like, fucking hell, I haven't. I've done loads of white collar fights, you know, it's not the same level, is it? So, but she hasn't got a massive amateur background, so she's proven that you don't need that. You need a good team who you're happy with, which I've got. And you need to work hard, which I always fucking do. So she's given me more hope than any other female boxer out there, to be honest. Yeah.
Brilliant. Let's talk a bit about the women's super featherweight division, which is popping at the moment.
To be honest, I think I'll be at least feather super bantam. When I fought super featherweight, they were both on the day weigh-ins. I made weight easy. I was actually under. That's with no nutritionist. My opponents were actually a couple of above me, they're quite a bit heavier. So now I've got a nutritionist. My weight's coming off beautifully. Like, I think I'll be fighting feather, super bantam at the biggest, really. I mean, not that I'm avoiding super featherweight. That's where the fights are. That's where the fights are, innit? But I mean, I don't think I'm an actual super featherweight. I'm too small for that, to be honest.
Okay, well,
we can talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about some of the super bantamweight fighters as well. Obviously, super featherweight, you got lots of obviously Terri Harper, champion. You got lots of Fandes, Christina. You got Fandes. You got Persoon. You got lots of Hamidouce, Michaela Mayer. So many terrific fighters out there. Which one of those fighters would you one day love to be in a ring with if you could one day in the future get in there with them?
Out of all them, depends. Do I want the easy option or the hard option? I'm not world level yet. When I feel like I'm world level, I'd pick the best. But I don't know. Do you know what? I used to look at Michaela Mayer and the way she spoke, and I'd think, fucking hell, like, you don't need to be like that. But do you know what? I followed her some more, and I really like her. I do. Like, I think sometimes everyone gets themselves out there differently, don't they? You know, because she was sort of being a bit sarky around Terri Harper, but that got Terri Harper's name floating around in America. It's getting women's boxing better, isn't it? That ain't my way of dealing with things, you know, being shouty-outy and whatever. But Katrina Fandes, obviously, the fact that she's lost now gives you hope you can beat her. Now, I don't doubt myself, but I've only had 2 fights. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a twat even talking about sharing a ring with some of them. I'll be happy to share a ring with any of them when the time comes. Do you know what I mean? But who am I to sit here and say, yeah, I'll fight, blah, blah, blah. I think after 2 fights, I ain't really got a place to say that. Do you know what I mean? So...
Okay, we'll talk about some of the super bantamweights. Obviously, you got lots of Bridges, EbanieBridges. You got lots of obviously the champion Shannon Courtenay. You got lots of Amy Timlin, Cardi Skelly. Some really good fighters out there. Any one of those who maybe one day you look at and think, you know what, we actually have a good matchup. Stars make fights. Which one?
Do you know what? I'm trying to avoid southpaws like the plague. I know I shouldn't tell people my weaknesses, but I don't fucking like southpaws. Don't like them. Me and Dave fist bump that we'll try and avoid them. Do you know what I mean? If it comes, it comes. So that's Cardi Skelly out. EbanieBridges, I've become really close friends with her. I can't even imagine having to fight her. Although I'm sure if we did, we'd have to get on with it. But I have become as close as you can get to someone through social media. Do you know what I mean? With her, I love her. Shannon Courtenay, I've spoke to a little bit. You know, I had my opinion of her before. I thought she seemed a little bit too up her own arse, but she's backing it up with what she's doing. So again, you shouldn't judge by how people are. And who's the other one? Amy Timlin. I don't really know her, but she's very young, isn't she? Young and hungry. Yeah. That would be an exciting fight. I want to be in exciting fights. I really do. Obviously, I'm going to take it step by step, but I want to be in exciting fights. So again, I would fight any of them. I would, because they're brawlers, isn't they? Really, I like a brawler. Yeah. But with EbanieBridges, fucking hell, that never even crossed my mind. But to be fair, it could happen, I suppose, couldn't it? It could happen.
You never know. You never know.
You never know, do you? Fucking hell, no. God, I would have flat-chested then, wouldn't I? Fucking hell.
Like Ebanie's all lovely. Ebanie's a really lovely girl. I've had done plenty of interviews with her. Yeah. A really, really lovely girl, and such a bubbly personality as well. So you just got to love her, really.
She is, yeah. I think we'll get. I was going to meet. Do you know what? She was going to come stay at mine when she was in England, because obviously she was having a little tour there, England. But it didn't happen, and she went to go visit Rachel Ball in Walsall. I wanted to go see him, but I just thought I'll lose out on a day's work. It's a lot of fuel. Like, not that I didn't want to meet them, but realistically, I'm a single mother with a house to pay for. Do you know what I mean? So I had to go to work instead. But I would love to meet her soon, definitely. I don't want to be your female boxer. I don't dislike anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, I used to look at people and I think you don't need to be arrogant. You're a woman boxer. Do you know what I mean? Like, be nice. But if people want to be a bit arrogant, it's up to them, innit, really? If they're backing it up, fair play to them. Yeah. It's just not in me to do that. I'm a bit of a pussy when it comes to fucking...
Well, it sells fights. It helps sell fights as well.
Oh, I know. It does. Yeah.
Oh, well, so let's talk a bit about obviously, women's boxing. There's been a few world title fights this year. The likes of Taylor versus Jonas. You had Claressa Shields beat Leclerc. You had what else did you have? Courtney versus Bridges as well. Yeah. I want to ask you, how exciting is it for to be part of this generation of boxers?
I feel like it's happened at absolute perfect time. When I started boxing about 11 years ago, and back then it was so rare from what I knew, females, and I used to fight on the white collar shows and trying to find opponents. It was difficult, and then I remember Katie Taylor when she had her first pro fight, and I thought, I wonder if I could ever go pro. I mean, back then I thought I wasn't good enough or whatever, but I've not stopped working for the last 10 years, and now my time's come, and I think, fucking hell, it's perfect. Like seeing women like Terri Harper headline events and Chantelle Cameron fighting in Vegas. you fucking buzz off it. And do you know what? Like, you buzz for them. You want them to do well as well. Well, like, for me personally, I don't look at them and think, oh, wish I was in their boat. You just think, wow, I can't wait to be in their boat. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wish them well, and it's brilliant to see. Perfect timing for a female boxer, which I'm sure all the women are saying when you interview them, but it's true.
Let's talk a bit about Chantelle Cameron. Obviously, we had a little interview a couple of weeks ago with Jessica McCaskill and her trainer.
That's the one I watched. Yeah. Well, I watched some of it. I read the comments.
Rick had a few words to say about obviously Chantelle, Mary McGee, and a few other fighters, Claressa Shields. I want to ask you, obviously, what did you make of obviously the interview, and can you really see Chantelle Cameron maybe fighting someone like Jessica McCaskill one day in the future?
Do you know what I think? I think with Chantelle Cameron, I think the better opponent, the better fighter you'll see. You know, she's not been tested to nowhere near as much she's capable of, I don't think. I truly believe that you haven't seen the best yet, and that's because the opponents haven't been to her standard, honestly. I think the better the fight for her, the better you'll see of her. I truly believe that. She is something special. I do believe that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she's a terrific fighter. I've watched her, and I think she's got so much more to give.
Yeah, I felt sorry for her when she fought for the world title against that, one with the nipple come out. I felt sorry for her because I thought you can see she wants a better fight than this. Yeah. But fight, I won't know if it, didn't I? But she fought who she had to, and she done what she had to do. But I think the better the test, the better you'll see in her. And obviously, DaveAllen, he speaks really well of Jamie Moore. He thinks that's he's one of the best coaches out there. So she's in the great hands as well, isn't she? So seems like a perfect team they've got, apart from mine.
I want to ask you, obviously, if you could pick two fights across all of the female divisions, what you can make happen, which fights would you make happen?
I would make definitely Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall, because Savannah Marshall is my absolute fave, and she deserves them belts. And then I would I personally think Ellie Courtenay could win a world title now already. I think she beat Shannon Courtenay now, personally. But then you wouldn't want to see that because not being funny. I suppose she's going to want to make her way up there, not just she wants to make her up there fairly. I'm trying to think now. Mine's gone fucking blank. Who? Give me some options. Throw some names out there.
You got obviously you just mentioned Shields, Savannah Marshall. You got Jessica McCaskill. You got Katie Taylor. You got Amanda Serrano.
Oh, I know Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, and I'm looking forward to seeing Terri, Harper and Michaela as well. That would be good.
That would be fantastic. I mean, that will be iconic as well. And I think it's going to, like I said, there's numerous times in interviews I've done that I think there's going to be a lot of main events with golden female fighters. I really do. Do
you know what I think should happen? I think EbanieBridges should get the rematch with Shannon Courtenay, seeing as Shannon Courtenay has been left opponentless for Fight Camp. And then I'll take EbanieBridges' place and fight Bec Connolly on Fight Camp. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Wow. Okay, you heard it first, or you heard it first. I'll put this out. You never know what could happen. You never know.
I should know. To be fair, though, it's up to David. That's an idea. It's putting it out there. It's like, wait a minute. Shannon Courtenay's opponentless. EbanieBridges had a fucking close fight, head clash, lump, the whole shebang. Ebanie fights Shannon Courtenay. I'll fight Bec Connolly. I'll save the day and keep the entertainment going.
That will be one electric fight camp if it does happen. So, Dave, if you're watching, Dave, get on to Eddie. Make it happen.
No, do you know what I mean? I've been out the ring since last February, and fucking Bec Connolly is a good fighter. I think, again, with me, I think the better the fighter, the better you'll see me. But I have been out the ring since last February, so whoever I fight next week is still a little bit uncertain. I've got a couple of names. Whoever I fight next week, that's my chance to prove to myself, to show David where I'm at as well. Because obviously he's not watched me fight before. I've learned a lot in the last few months back with my coach Paul Faulkner at my Heroes Gym now in Kings Lynn. Sparring's been going great, and I feel like I'm a whole new fighter now. So next week we'll see where I'm at. Do you know what I mean? But that's just something again what's been going in my head. I thought, fucking hell, let Ebanie fight again, and wait a minute, I'll fight Bec Connolly. Why not? Do you know what I mean? But
if it doesn't happen now. It could happen maybe one day.
I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure it will. There's not massive amounts of female boxers about. I think with this COVID, or I say bollocks, but I shouldn't say bollocks. But I've just said it twice. Going on. Then there's not as many people flying over, is there? So opponents aren't as easy to get. So I'm sure there's going to be like a mix about coming up because I can't see this lockdown thing ending when they say it will. But that's a whole new fucking subject.
Yeah, you're going to probably see more domestic fights involving a lot of British fighters, female fighters, maybe because obviously they don't have to travel. The travel restrictions don't have to go to another country, don't have to come into the country. You're probably going to see more fights, probably easy get made as well.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you obviously about. I want to ask you about your short-term and long-term goals. What are your short-term and long-term goals in boxing?
So most people say they want to be a world champion. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to be a world champion, but my dream is the Commonwealth title because it's a rainbow belt. I love rainbow stuff. It's just a belt I can see myself holding. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not the most confident person in the world. I'm confident that no one works as hard as me. I've got the best team around me. But when it comes to talent, I don't feel like I'm up there with a lot of these other people. But I know I'm learning and I will get there. But I'm not. I know you should dream big. But at the minute, I'm dreaming big. To me is Commonwealth. Do you know what I mean? After that, I believe I will win that eventually. And then I will start aiming bigger. I'll believe in myself more. Do you know what I mean? But I need more self-belief. I've been out the ring for a long time. So my dream is the Commonwealth title, which David knows that anyway. And I'm in this game for the fact that boxing gives me a purpose in life. It's something I belong in. I'm in it for the memories, the experiences, meeting the people. I'm in it. Most people's dream is to be a world champion. I'm living my dream now. I'm a professional boxer. You know, I'm taking part in professional shows. I'm involved in the game. That's my dream already. I'm training for a living. I mean, I work as well. I'm a mum, but you know, training every day, it's a dream. I fucking love it. I sat on my ass in the office for 7 years. Do you know what I mean? Working 6 days a week, then having to train at night, squeeze it in when I could. Now I am working in a gym and I'm training all the time and I fucking love it. I'm living my dream. Anything else from now on is a bonus. You know, I don't really want to get knocked out on live telly. Do you know what a dream fight for me would be? A Tyson Fury one. I'll get knocked out. I'm laying there. Everyone's like, fuck. Then I just get up and knock them out. I would love that. What a buzz.
That sure would be a buzz. That sure would be.
Just get up. Like,
Stevie, obviously next week, Friday, 25th of June, you'll be fighting on Fightzone. I want you to ask Tommy, why should people pay $1.99 to watch you fight on Friday night next week?
They should come watch me fight because it'll be entertaining. I'm a busy fighter. I'm a hard worker. It will be full on from the word go. I've got a great fucking entrance tune. It's very unique. I like my fight kit's quite unique. You know, I've got some silly tattoos. Can you see? You know, I'm a bit different, not boring. It won't be a boring fight. No matter who's in front of me, it will not be a boring fight. That is 100% fact. And fucking hell, $1.99 to watch a bit of boxing. Do you know what I mean? You spend it on a double cheeseburger. Yeah. A no-brainer, really, isn't it? No, it's going to be exciting. Honestly, I've been bursting now to fight for a long time. I've got so much in me. Not anger, but like energy in me. 4 rounds is fuck all. Sorry, 4 rounds is nothing. So that is going to be boom from the word go. No pace on myself. I don't need to. People will see what an engine I've got and they'll see what hard work looks like.
Brilliant. Thank you, Stevie. Absolute pleasure having you on.
Sorry for swearing.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm looking forward to watching you fight next week and I wish you nothing but the best for that fight. And I'm sure we're going to catch up again soon.
Thank you. Just for the record, this chair, I'm not in the Big Brother house. I bought this for my little boy for his birthday. It's fucking expensive.
I quite like it.
He's took over the telly downstairs. I thought, fuck it. If you ain't using the chair, I'll use the chair. It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation, I'm a big PlayStation fan. I like that
Big Brother chair, innit?
Yeah.
I might have a game now, to be fair. It's quite peaceful in his room. He's downstairs watching bloody YouTube.
Brilliant. Stevie, thanks again for your time. I'll look forward to watching you fight next week.
Thank you for having me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Take care. Nice to meet you, darling. Bye-bye.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.